What's up? Shelby here with Footpath, joined by pro runner, on athlete, coach, cat mom, and all around stellar human, Alyssa Clark. She recently shared a stunning footpath route she created for one of her final shakeout runs before towing the line at UTMB's Lavaredo 120K. Spoiler alert, it ended with pizza. Thanks so much for chatting today, Alyssa.
Oh, I'm happy to be here.
Yay! I want to talk to you about Lavaredo in a second, but first, I've heard you describe yourself as obsessive about routes. You even called route planning the artistry of trail running. Can you dig into that philosophy for me?
Absolutely. So I have always kind of balanced the art side of my brain with kind of this more athletic endeavor, we'll say. And so I went to college and have an art degree and an English degree. And I think some people wouldn't consider athletics necessarily as like an artistic expression, but I think that with trail running, especially when you kind of start getting into the mountaineering side and like just kind of all mountain sports, is that you can create these masterpieces of art in the mountains. And that involves, route planning of hey, can I climb this bridge? Like, what skill set do I need? How do I link up these incredible mountain ranges? Or how do I hit this lake and then summit? And so I feel like trail running and kind of the art of mapping are just a way that I can express the creative side of my brain and kind of the artist. So I just love, I'm constantly in Footpath and just kind of looking at maps. And actually our house, we're in a van right now, but we will be in a house soon. Actually, all of our artwork is maps from different areas that we've lived in. Yeah, so obsessed.
That's great. I have to ask, is there a route that you've made in the past that you're like, this is a true masterpiece, chef's kiss?
Yes, well, I've actually not done it yet because COVID hit in Italy, but there is a route with this stunning like 10,000 foot mountain, kind of a technical route, but there's this circumnavigation I want to do where I love starting at the bases of things. That's like my favorite. I want to start at the absolute bottom. And yeah, so there's this beautiful circumnav route that I really want to do. Involves some little technical climbing, ridge scrambling, hard running. Yeah, so that is high on my list to get Gran Sasso area in Italy.
Oh, sick. Yeah, I bet that the slope layer would be helpful in Footpath on that one to see, where some of that scrambling is.
Yeah, and also, when you want to take on the activity, like, hey, is it on the north side? Is it going to be holding on to snow later in the year? Like, all of that really matters. And, is there, hopefully you're doing it in the summer, but like, what's the avalanche risk if you're like kind of in between seasons? What are you getting yourself into? Yeah, all of that. It's really helpful.
Yeah, you can definitely use map layers to dial in what's going to happen out there. Okay, we're in Italy. Well, we're not in Italy. I wish we were, but we're talking about Italy. So let's talk about Lavaredo, where you took second female in a time of 14:43.51, just 29 minutes and 11 seconds behind Courtney DeWalter, which is square in the bullseye. And I'm pretty sure you traveled to Dolomites ahead of time to finish up your training block, and I'm guessing you did some course recon too. So I would love to hear about kind of your final days of prep. What routes were you creating in those final days? Yeah, how was route planning a part of your strategy?
Yeah, well, the route planning was a huge part of it because I was trying to see, I got there a little over 2 weeks early so that I could get big couple last days of training, like a couple 5-6 hour days in. And part of the challenge is that I was trying to see as much of the course as possible while also being able to get back to my car, because I didn't want to get myself stranded in an area and not be able to get back. So spent a ton of time being like, how can I maximize my ability to see the most of the course, while also being like, okay, where am I going to park my car? How am I going to do this? So yeah, the route planning was huge for those. And then I think as you're tapering, you're kind of trying to not put in a massive amount of vert, or get yourself like, uh-oh, this route actually took 2 hours and I was only supposed to do 1. Sorry, coach. So route planning definitely helps with that. And also just to maximize, like, yeah, I want to see everything, or as much as I can, and kind of put in those fun, like, ooh, a lake. Ooh, a refugio. Oh, I can get a Coke there. So.
That's so cool. So, okay, let's get into the race just like a little bit here. Was there anything that surprised you that you hadn't seen from planning? I mean, probably a lot of things, but yeah. Or was there anything that, like, from planning you were like, oh, I knew this was going to happen here because I did my research?
Yeah, well, I definitely knew, I would say that I knew 3/4 of the race quite well. But then there was one section, actually maybe even more of that. There was just one little section that I didn't have the chance to recon. And when you looked at the map, it was like, oh, that's just like a little blip. And it turns out that little blips can be really steep. And so there was definitely one section where I underestimated. I should have honestly looked at the shading, like the percentage grade, a lot closer, because it was very steep right at the end of the race. And I was like, I knew there was a climb here. Didn't know it was that bad. So that definitely caught me a little bit off guard, and this time, or future races, I'll definitely be a little bit more diligent with just the small parts that I'm not able to recon or didn't know to check that out. But yeah, I can tell you that a 4,000 foot descent in 6 miles at the end of a race, when you're trying to kind of go all out, is pretty brutal on the quads. It does not feel good.
Yeah, well, good thing you don't need them at the end of the race, so might as well just smash them out.
That was my whole mentality, was like, don't fall. Also, you don't need these anymore, so just crush it. But I did know that was coming, so that was good.
That's good, yeah. I'm so excited for you. So what's every runner's favorite question? What's next?
Well, I'm headed up to Chamonix on July 21st to prep for UTMB, my second go at it. And then while I'm out there, I'm actually doing a double vertical kilometer, which should be really fun. It goes up the Italian side of Mont Blanc. So at one point we get to put on helmets, and it gets a little bit like climby and fun. So I'll definitely be checking that route out on Footpath and kind of seeing what I'm getting myself into. And then doing 2 laps of the route. And then, race day is August 29th.
My birthday.
Hey, nice.
Yay. Oh, that's so cool. Please share those routes with us. Take pictures. Tag Footpath. I want to see all of it. I wish I could be there with you.
I know. We got to get you out there.
I'll get out there. It's on my radar. Amazing. Where can people find you? Where are you?
So I mostly Theory in Motion on Instagram is kind of my main thing, and I try to be really responsive. Sometimes I get a little bit overwhelmed, but I try to be. And then intermittently writing a Substack, which is also linked in the Instagram. And then, I host the Uphill Athlete podcast. So if you want to hear more about training philosophy, education, all of that, I am over there.
Yay. Thank you for being such a great resource in the sport. And thank you for taking the time to chat with Footpath today.
Oh, of course. I mean, I think you all are doing, it's a safety thing. Like, being able to know where you're going and what is coming up is huge. So thank you all for creating such a great product.
Yeah. I love getting lost personally, but only because I know how to get unlost thanks to Footpath. So
that's a great way of putting it. I love that.
Awesome. Well, we'll see you in Chamonix.